Hello my dear family members, today we have an exciting video for all the TCS NQT aspirants. After the positive response to our previous TCS NQT coding video, I am thrilled to bring you another set of challenging problems which was asked on 15th January TCS NQT exam in advanced section. So let's see the question. But before we proceed, I would recommend you to have the TCS NQT Prime materials in which you will have all the recent coding questions, previous year questions and mock tests as well. So to get that, knock me at my Insta ID instagram.com/techno.uf, you will get it. Okay, so let's go to the question. So the question is regarding this. So John is a mathematics teacher in one of the classes of Dell's school. The class has n students. Today is their yearly exam and John is very strict on the answers. As per John, no one is allowed to cheat. He will find it out from the final marks of two adjacent students. Okay, so let's see the criteria who are cheater. So the marks of n students are mentioned in M array with index 1 to n. So please be mindful because we'll start the indexing from 1 to n, not from 0 to. Okay, all of the students are seated one behind the other based on their roll numbers, which is from 1 to n. So inside an array, 0 1 2 3 4 5, these are the index position, right? So 0 is the first and 1 is the behind. Okay, so this way they are treating. Okay, if any two adjacent, one behind the other, students have same marks, then it will be considered as cheating and the later student will be removed from the merit list. The students sitting behind is considered a cheater. So I hope you understood. Let's say there is a array of values 2 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, right? So the 2 comma 2 is the same value, so that's why the second 2 will be considered as cheater, right? That means the second position. So he will be removed and the merit list will be filtered after removing him. Okay, so I hope you understood. Okay, let's see the next part of the question. So as the next level is the process of re-evaluation, which is performed by another department. So another department means another function will handle this. Okay, the re-evaluation can impact marks of k students. Okay, and the re-evaluation will update their marks and then again the final merit list should be declared. Okay, and the re-evaluation will be in the format of xy. Okay, blah blah blah, but each re-evaluation is independent and the merit list is updated after each re-evaluation. Okay, so we don't have to we don't have to print anything, but just we have to update after re-evaluation. Okay, after re-evaluation the merit list is updated where the cheater is filtered out if there is any. Okay, so cheater will be removed and the merit list will be filtered. Okay, so what is your task? That is find the maximum number of students that were part of the merit list after each re-evaluation. Only the final merit list will be visible. Okay, so not all the merit list after re-evaluation, just only the final merit list should be visible. Okay, so for better understanding, I will print all the merit list after each re-evaluation. Okay, so let's see the sample input output so that it could be more easier. Okay, so number of students will be the first input. N is, let's say n is equal to 5, and then we'll take the number of re-evaluation. So we'll take at first k is equal to 2, and then we'll take the respective marks of each student. Like here we take 1 1 2 5 2. Okay, and then we'll get the position and the value which will be updated. Okay, then our output should be like this. For first re-evaluation answer is 5, for second re-evaluation answer is 3. So I'll not print this part, I'll print just the value. Okay, so let me explain the sample input output in the compiler so that it will be more easier. Okay, so at first we'll take the number of students, that is 5, and then at first we'll take the number of students, let's say this is 5, and then we'll take the number of re-evaluation, that is, let's say 2, and then we'll take the number of the marks of students, like 5 students, so we'll take the marks like 1, then 1, then 2, then 5, then 2. Let's say these are the corresponding number of each students, like 5 students. Okay, and then we'll take the position which will be updated after re-evaluation. Let's say the position is 1 and the value is for, let's say, 3. Okay, so and so as I have taken the re-evaluation count is 2, so total 2 re-evaluation will be there. Okay, so at the first I will update the value of 1 by 3, and I will update the value of fourth position by 2, right? So 2 re-evaluation will be done. and this one will be updated like uh, 3, and all the remaining will be as it is, but the fourth position will be changed by 2 and the remaining will be same. Because, and here you can see that one position is being changed at 0th position, as the indexing will start from 1 to n, not from 0, right? So that's why we will consider the 0th position element as 1. Okay, so I hope you understood. And then our output should be, so what will be our output? That is, after updating the values, so we can see that the two are same in this case, right? So whoever having the values same, they are considered as cheater, right? So he is very good guy, okay, but they are copying from him, right? So that's why they are considered as cheaters. So they will be removed and the list will be filtered, like 312 will be returned. I mean the count of these students, that means total 3 students are good, right? So at the first reevaluation, the count of students can be 5, and after second iteration, I mean after second reevaluation, the total good students will be 3, right? Why? Because in the first reevaluation, when I changed like this was 5, right? So when the first reevaluation done, the one is changed like 3, right? But you can see here no one is copying from no anyone, right? So that means all the adjacent are different, right? So that's why the total good students are 5. That's why the output is 5. And in the second iteration, in the second reevaluation, I have updated the value of fourth index as 2. That's why we see the total 2 students are copying from this student, right? So that's why we removed those students, and we consider them as cheater. And 312, the total count are the fair students. Okay, that's why the count of total good students are 3, right? So I hope you understood what the task is, what you have to do, right? So let's go to the solution part. Before I proceed to the solution part, I would recommend you to please join our Telegram channel t.me/ubk now, and please follow our Instagram ID instagram.com/techno.uf, and this will be very much motivating for me. Okay, so let's go to the solution. I will give you the solution in Java and Python both, so please wait. So let's see the solution in Java at first. So I have written the solution actually. So at first, let's start with the main function. So at first, we are taking the scanner class object and we have imported the scanner class. Then we are printing that enter the number of students. So here we are just taking the user input, the number of students. So at first, we are taking the number of students as 5, and then we are writing printing enter the number of revaluation. Okay, so we are we are taking number of revaluation is 2, right, at the first input, and then we are initializing the array with the size number of students. That means the array size is 5, right? And then we are printing enter students marks, that is the array, right? So the array will be like 1 1 sorry 1 5 sorry 2 5 2, right? So this will be the array which will be the marks of the students. Okay, and then we are printing the starting revaluation, and we are telling that enter new position and value. So in which position you want to add new value, I mean new after revaluation, in which position you want to add marks. That is, at the first position we are willing to add 3, and in the second iteration, in the second revaluation, we want to add new value at fourth position, that is 2, right? So these are the main task we had to do. Then we are calling this function and printing it. Okay, so merit list, position, value, and array, this is taking. Okay, so let's go to this function. So this function is taking this function is returning an integer, and this is static. That's why we will not create object of this class, so that we can call this merit list class directly. And we are taking 3 arguments, that is position, and in which we'll update the value, and this is the new value where will which will update, and this is the array in which we'll update the value and position. Okay, so in array position -1, that means if I am updating the position 1th value like 3, then this will consider the second index, but the indexing starts from 0. That's why we are doing subtracting -1. Okay, so position -1, that is at the first position, at the 0th position, we're updating the value 3. Okay, so if the new value is 3, then this will be updated as the array 0th index will be updated as 3, right? So here I am just taking this variable initialized as 1 to count how many numbers are there which are being cheated, like I mean which are being same as the adjacent. Okay, so now I will go through all the elements of that array, that means all the marks of the students, right? So I will at first I'll check if the first element, that means second element, right, from one index element is not equal to array I minus 1, that means at the first zeroth element of array, if those are not equal, then increment answer plus as equal to 1. How? Why? Because uh, we have got the students as fair student, right? If this becomes equal, then we will not consider them inside this, right? Because we'll not count them, we'll remove them. Okay, so that's why we are just incrementing answer plus is equal to 1. So I hope you understood, right? So in the next iteration as well, we'll check if the third element is not equal to array second element. If this is not, then we'll again increment plus is equal to 1, and we will do it so on. So okay, so I hope you understood what the logic, what the syntax I used here, right? So let's run it and see if this is giving right output or not. Okay, so let me run it. So what's the error? That is 5. Oh sorry, actually I had to remove this. Okay, so let me run it and see. I hope this will be fine. So enter the number of students, that is 5, and enter the number of re-evaluation. So total number of re-evaluation is 2, and enter students marks. So 1 1 2 5 2. Okay, and start re-evaluation, enter new position and value. So enter new position and value, that is at the first position will update what will update, that is 3. Okay, and so we got that 5, right? So total fair students are 5, and enter new position and value. In the next iteration we are updating as a new value, right? That is at the fourth position we'll update the value as 2. So 5 will become, this 5 will become 2, and we'll get that these students are cheater, and we'll return 3, right? So the output is 3 as expected, right? So you can go with any other sample input, this will be same and this will be okay. Okay, so I hope you are waiting for the Python solution. So let's go to the Python solution, but before you proceed to the Python solution, I would recommend you to please have the prime materials of TCS NQT, and please recommend this prime materials if you already have to your friends, so that I can be motivated. Okay, so let's go to the solution in Python. So this is the Python solution. As you can see, the same way, the same logic I have written in Python, just if you understood the logic in Java, right? So as you can see, I have written the driver code here. So at first I am taking the number of students, then I am taking the number of re-evaluation, and I have initialized the array or the list, and then I am iterating through all the elements of n. I'm iterating n times to take the array elements, I mean the marks of each student, and then I'm iterating k times, that means the re-evaluation times, total number of re-evaluation times. So I'm taking the position at first, then I'm getting the value which will be updated. Okay, and then I'm calling the function and printing the value. Okay, so now after calling this function, so the flow will start from here, and this function is taking x as position, y as the value, and n as the total number of marks, right? And array x minus 1 position minus 1 will be updated as the value y. Okay, and as the Java solution, we are initializing this value to increment if there is any fair students count. Okay, so if there is any fair student, then we'll increment the count. Okay, so who are the fair students? That is, we'll start from we will iterate through all the elements, all the array elements, right? So that's why I'm iterating from 1 to n, and checking if array I not equal to array I minus 1. That means we are checking if any array adjacent element are equal. If any adjacent element are equal, then we will not count them. If any adjacent element are not equal, then we'll increment this count so that we can get the total number of fair students, right? So if there is any adjacent equal number, that means they are cheater, right? If they are not equal, that means they are fair, right? So that's why we are incrementing answer plus equal 1. So that's why after the iteration, after the for loop, we are returning total number of students in the merit list who are fair. That is the answer. Okay, so just I am calling this here, and this is printing, and this is giving our expected output. Okay, so I hope you understood the Python logic as well, Python syntaxes as well. So if you loved this session and if you want more such content, then please subscribe this channel and watch the playlist regarding TCS NQT and any company that you want. And please recommend this channel to your friend so that I can be motivated, right? I'll be very much thankful to you. Okay, so thank you for today's session.